Good day, sir. I am Decadent Alvisar, and today we'll talk about food security. Food security is a measure of the availability of food and individuals' ability to access it. It means that all people, all individual, at all times have physical, social, and economic access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food that meets their food preferences and dietary needs for an active and healthy life. Availability at all times of adequate and nourishing, diverse, balanced, and moderate world food supplies of basis foodstuffs to sustain a steady expansion of food consumption and to offset the fluctuation in production of prices. Food security incorporates a measure of resilience to future disruption or the unavailability of critical food supply due to various risk factors includes the drought, the shipping disruptions, fuel shortage, economic sustainability, and wars. Those factors really affects the food security. Like now, this time of pandemic, we experiencing a food security. We experience food insecurity, which means that our our food um, consumption is very high because of the population growth, as well as the pandemic caused us to consume more food, and the resources of our food, or the source of the food, is not very good in production because of this time of pandemic. So food security really matters in our daily lives.
Hi, today I'm going to discuss about what is food security. Food security is when all people have the regular access to the food they want and enough for them to have a nutritious life and active lifestyle. The keyword here is access. They can either buy their food and or produce their food for them to be able to access the food security they want in their daily life. So when we say we buy food for our daily food security, we need to work and have enough money to access the food and enough for us to lead a healthy and nutritious active lifestyle. And when we say to produce it ourselves, we need to have enough resources to produce our own food and make money out of it, and at the same time we can either eat it along the way right beside our garden. And that's for the food security.
Hi, good day everyone. I am Genesis Lapina, and today we are talking about food security. First, we need to define what is food security. Based on my research, food security is a measure of availability of food and individuals' ability to access it. So, it is somewhat or has something to do with your current financial status. For example, those people who are belong in higher level class of financial status, they can easily buy foods of what they want, and also they can stock foods. While if you are in a lower level of financial class, then you cannot easily buy foods unlike higher level class, unlike rich people, because even if you work hard, but because of your less monthly income, you cannot buy food or to stock food within your home. Your monthly income will only support your daily needs because you have less money.
Food security is a measure of the availability of food and individual's ability to access it. So hi, I am Bridget Mary Juquino, and in this video, I will be discussing about food security. So food security is defined as the means that all people at all times have physical, social, and economic access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food that meets their food preferences and dietary needs for an active and healthy life. Food security is possible when all people at all times have physical and economic access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food to meet their dietary needs and food preferences for an active and healthy life. On the other hand, it is defined by the United States Department of Agriculture or USDA as a situation of limited or uncertain availability of nutritionally adequate and safe foods, or limited or uncertain ability to acquire acceptable foods in a socially acceptable ways. And that is food security.
Hi guys, I'm Decadent Gonzaga, and what is food security? Food security is defined by the United Nations Committee on World Food Security, means that all people at all times have physical, social, and economic access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food that meet their food preference and dietary needs for an activity and healthy life. Over the coming decides changing climates, growing global population, raising food prices, and environmental uh, stressors will have significant yet uncertain impact of food security. Adaptation strategies and policy responses to global change, including options for handling water allocation, land use partners, food trends, food harvest, food processing, and food price and safety are urgently needed.
My name is Paco, and I'm going to discuss first what is food security and why is it important. Food security is defined as the availability of food and one's access to it. And according to the World Food Summit of 1996, food security is defined as when all people at all times have access to sufficient, safe, nutritious food to maintain a healthy and active life. You can say that a household or a family is considered a food secure when its occupants do not live hunger or fear starvation. There are three main aspects of food security. First is food availability, which means having a sufficient supply of food available on a consistent basis. This food can be either locally produced or imported from other places. Second is the food access, which means having sufficient resources to obtain appropriate foods for a nutritious diet. And the third is food utilization. This means that the people make appropriate use of food based on knowledge of basic nutrition and care, and have access to water and sanitation for preparing food and maintaining proper hygiene, with proper nutrition, sanitation, and hygiene. Many diseases, especially those caused by food and waterborne contaminants, are less likely to occur.